You wake up to the sound of iron on iron, chains, bars, men coughing in the dark. The air smells like sweat, oil, and old blood that never really washed out. You roll over on a straw mattress in a cramped room, and for 1 second you forget where you are until you see it. A wooden sword, training gear, bruises on your arms that look like they were painted on. Because today, you might fight in an arena where people don't just watch you, they bet on you, they scream for you. And if you don't entertain them, they can literally vote for you to die. This is your life as a Roman gladiator, and it is not the Hollywood fantasy you think it is. Let's rewind. Rome. Big empire. Big crowds. Big appetite for spectacle. Gladiators weren't all the same. Some were slaves. Some were prisoners of war. Some were criminals. But here's the twist that surprises people. Some gladiators were volunteers. Free men who signed contracts because they were broke, desperate, or chasing fame. Either way, you end up in the same place. A gladiator school called a ludus. Think of it like a prison mixed with a sports academy mixed with a business. Your owner, called a Lanista, doesn't see you as a hero. He sees you as an investment. And expensive investments don't get treated like disposable trash. Not at first. You train. Every day. And it's not swing a sword and look cool. It's repetitive, brutal drilling, footwork, guard positions, timing. You practice against a wooden post called a palace, striking it again and again until your shoulders burn. Your instructor, often a retired fighter, is watching everything. Your stance, your breathing, your fear. And here's the first myth to kill. Gladiators didn't just freestyle fight. They were trained in styles, like categories, each with specific weapons and armor designed to create exciting matchups. Maybe you become a Murmillo, big shield, short sword, heavy helmet, the tank type, or a Thraex, smaller shield, curved sword, fast movement, or a Retiarius, the wild one, net and trident, often with less armor, relying on speed and nerve. The crowd loves the drama of seeing a net fly and hearing it slap against armor. You're not just learning how to fight, you're learning how to perform, how to make the crowd feel like they're watching something legendary. Now let's talk about the part nobody romanticizes. Your body becomes your job. Your meals are controlled. Your sleep is controlled. Your entire schedule is controlled. And the diet is surprising. You're not eating like a movie warrior. Gladiators were often fed a high-carb diet, lots of grains and legumes, to build bulk and energy. Some ancient sources even describe gladiators as barley men. The goal wasn't six-pack abs. The goal was endurance and padding. A little extra fat could protect you from cuts, keep you alive, and keep the show going. Because yes, Rome wanted blood, but the business wanted you alive. Training a gladiator took time, and a dead fighter is a wasted investment. But still, the risk is real. People died in the arena. Injuries were common, and you had to live with the knowledge that one mistake could be the end of you. Publicly, loudly, in front of thousands. Now your first fight approaches. The day begins early. You're oiled up, inspected, your gear is checked. There are rules. Referees exist, called summa rudis, and fights were supervised. Not because Rome was kind, but because Rome wanted the spectacle to be clear, dramatic, and worth the money. Then you walk into the arena. The sun hits your helmet. The crowd hits your ears. It's a wall of noise so loud it feels physical. You can't hear your own breathing. You look up and see tiers of faces, citizens, nobles, maybe even the emperor if you're unlucky. And then you realize something terrifying. You are not the main character in Rome's story. The crowd is. You're just the entertainment that makes them feel alive. The gates open. Your opponent steps in. Now the fight is a puzzle. You're reading shoulders, hips, balance. You're trying to control space. Your shield slams. Your sword scrapes. Sand sprays as feet dig in. You don't want to get tired too early because exhaustion is what kills you, not the sword. Exhaustion. And when someone gets hurt, when blood shows, the crowd reacts like you just lit a match. They surge, they shout, some cheer, some boo. Some are angry because they bet on the other guy. If you're winning, you still have to be careful because the ending matters. Sometimes fights ended in a surrender. Your opponent might raise a finger, asking for mercy. And now the arena becomes a courtroom. This is where the famous thumbs down idea gets messy. The truth is, the crowd could call for mercy or death, and the sponsor of the games, the editor, made the final decision. The gestures weren't as simple as modern movies pretend, but the feeling was real. A man's life could hang on the mood of the crowd and the decision of the guy paying for the show. If mercy is granted, you live to fight again. If not, it ends right there. And everyone goes home talking about how amazing it was. So what happens if you survive? You go back to the Ludas, and tomorrow you train again. Because a gladiator's life is repetition. Drill, fight, heal, drill, fight, heal. And yes, there was medical care. Some gladiator schools had doctors because keeping you alive made economic sense. They treated wounds, set bones, and got fighters back into shape. Now here's the part that blows people's minds. Gladiators could become famous. Like celebrity famous. People wrote graffiti about their favorite fighters. Some gladiators had fan followings. Some were basically the pro athletes of their time, except the job came with the constant possibility of dying on the field. And if you win enough, if you survive enough, you might earn the ultimate prize, freedom. There was a symbolic wooden sword called a Rudes that could be awarded to a gladiator, marking release from the school. Imagine that, your entire life reduced to one object, a wooden sword that says you're finally allowed to be a person again. But even then, the arena doesn't always let you go. Some freed gladiators stayed in the business as trainers. Some came back as paid fighters because they didn't know any other life. And some, after tasting fame, couldn't walk away from the roar of the crowd. So when you ask, what was it like to be a Roman gladiator? Here's the real answer. It was a life where your body was property, your courage was currency, and your survival depended on skill, showmanship, and luck. It was part sport, part theater, part punishment, part business. And every time you stepped into the sand, Rome demanded the same thing from you. Make it unforgettable. So, could you do it? Could you live in a school that feels like a cage, train until you break, and then walk into an arena where strangers decide whether you deserve to see tomorrow? If you want more, your life would be like history videos, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what should I cover next? Samurai, Vikings, or Spartan warriors?